3, 2, 1. So, there was a time back when Canada's borders didn't require a passport. And that was an interesting time because my family, with me and my older sister, decided to go visit Canada. So my parents had to go to Canada for a business trip, and they couldn't bring all of my siblings because I have, 10 of them. So they brought me and my older sister. But at the time, I was young, I was a small child, I was small noodle. And on our way to Canada, my parents bought like a gigantic bag of oranges. There was like 50 of them in there. Like the little like mandarin oranges that are like the little tumors. You just peel them off. You just go, I'm not going to say cuties. I hate that word. I know, but I just think of the fucking pedo movie. Anyways, we ate an entire bag of mandarin oranges on our way to Canada. And when we finally got to Canada, we went sightseeing a little bit. It was a good time. We went to a couple of museums. They were really boring, actually. Anyways, on our way out of the country, we went back and met up with Border Patrol trying to cross back over into the United States. And they got really upset at my parents, and they wouldn't tell us why for quite a bit. And then they started questioning us separately from my parents because they thought we were kidnapped and they were trying to smuggle us, like, God damn it, Pepper! We met back up with Border Patrol trying to cross back over in the United States, and the Border Patrol officers were fucking pissed. They started questioning us thoroughly. They took me and my sister to a separate location away from our parents and were questioning us individually. The reason for that was they thought me and my older sister were like little Canadian babies being smuggled back in the United States by my parents. And since we didn't have passports, because passports weren't required to enter the country that time, we didn't have IDs. We're just little baby ass kids. So my parents had to try their best to convince Border Patrol that they weren't just kidnapping children. And that was a whole huge scenario. We spent like 5 hours just in questioning and waiting and waiting and waiting. And at some points, my parents were freaking out because they genuinely thought that Canada was going to take their kids away because we don't look very much like our parents. I got like blonde hair and blue eyes, and they both have dark hair. And Canada is just like, kidnapped children. So after hours and hours and hours of questioning, they begrudgingly let us through, but I genuinely had no idea what the fuck was gonna happen, and if I was gonna just be a Canadian baby for the rest of my life and suckle on syrup out of a mother's tit for God knows how long. But thankfully we made it across the border again, and that was the last time I visited Canada. It was a little bit of a traumatizing experience being just grilled and questioned by so many different officers, and like them talking about taking you away from your parents, or like them saying stuff like, are you okay? Like, are you being held against your will? Like, are these your real parents? Like, do you know these people? Like, as a little kid, like, that shit's scary. But hey, on the bright side, we got more oranges on the way back and we ate all of those. So I made it out of Canada alive, and I wasn't held prisoner. Like, imagine if Canada Border Patrol was correct and that my parents had been smuggling children their entire lives, and that's why I have 10 siblings. Am I actually Canadian? Fuck.